So I would just start with our quick fundamental recap of our token of BankersDream. What are we aiming for? What are the goals with BankersDream? Um, just for the people to understand the goals of the team. So BankersDream itself, in a quick nutshell, um, I will go over the taxes. We do have 8% reflection in BUSD. So BankersDream as a token, or better as a ecosystem, we are aiming for passive income. We want to generate passive income. Of course, the best thing we could do is to grant holders a reflection in some sort. So we are using 8% BUSD reflections in our taxes. So every trade is getting taxed. If you buy BankersDream, you will get taxed the overall tax, and also if you sell them, we have a flat tax. So 15% for buys, 15% for sells. 8% are getting distributed automatically into your wallet in BUSD, a stable token. You can use this for whatever you want to. 4% are allocated to marketing and fund. So we are using overall 2.5% for marketing, and we are using 1.5% for the fund itself. 2% are collected for manual buyback and burns, so they are not automated, they are all manual. And 1% is added into liquidity automatically. We do need, because I already got this question quite some time, we do need the auto add to liquidity to generate a healthy liquidity over time to have a more stable token in the future. This for the tax part. For the features themselves, as I said before, we are aiming to create a passive income generator for the holders here. Of course, we can not only do it with BUSD rewards, because BUSD rewards are dependent of the trade volume itself. So we need a way to generate passive income independently from the trade volume. For this reason, we created Bankers Whale. It is a community fund. You will automatically participate in our community fund, and you will also, in the future, automatically receive your cut of the yield from the community fund itself. Of course, in the future, we will be building a lot more around this ecosystem, but for now, we are sticking to push Bankers Whale to a decent level, so we are able to pay out the first yield towards the holders. Wait, I see a question. Blastronaut, give me a second. You have to unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Yeah, thank you for that. So,
Yes.
how do I participate in the whales program? So, like, I have a decent amount of coins,
Yes.
but I'm trying to figure out, is it like a one-time weekly payout, or is it like? Can you explain that process again a little bit?
Yes, definitely. No problem. So the only thing you have to do to participate in the Bankers Whale Fund is to simply hold banks. It doesn't matter of the amount. We will apply the same logic for the future yield distribution as for the BUSD rewards. So the bigger your bag is, the more of the yield or the more of the cut of the yield you will receive as a person. Right now, we are not distributing any yield because we are compounding into the fund. We just recently started investing and vetting projects, and we are still missing two very important protocols. For one, it's the voting protocol for the fund. So every banks holder has the right to vote. It will be in another D app. But of course, it takes some time to establish these protocols. And the next protocol missing is the distribution protocol, because I can sit there and manually distribute the yield. Um, it will all be automated. The same process as for the BUSD rewards. And it will be distributed in the future automatically. You don't have to worry about this. The main thing we have to worry about right now is to actually build up the fund. That's why we are starting to invest into different projects. I will go over our investments in a second, and we also need to compound it for now until the protocols are ready. I hope I could answer your question.
Yeah, that was great. Thank you for clarifying that for me.
Yes, no worries. If you have any other questions, just feel free to hop in, yeah?
Sure, sure. Yeah, because I mean, I've been in other, chats and crypto programs where,
Yes,
like, they have a 1%. So let's say if you hold 1%, or if you hold like 1 billion tokens, then I mean, that's the only time where you're able to, or you're eligible for that payout. But what you're saying is anybody that holds. So let's say there's 55 or there's 100 holders, that that wallet gets redistributed to that 100 holder at a certain point in time, right?
exactly, exactly. We do not want to set a limit because we are definitely aware there are some people which simply cannot afford to buy like very big bags. So we do not want to limit it. We can simply apply the same logic as for BUSD rewards to be sure that people who invested bigger amounts of money into our project will receive, of course, the bigger cut of the yield. But as I said, no limitation set. No
Right.
limitation.
Thank you.
Yes, no worries. Exactly. Yeah, as I said, we will develop more into the ecosystem. We have in plans for our own launchpad, but it will be a very special launchpad. It will be with our own twists to the launchpad itself, um, especially after the experience we had with Pink Sale so far. So no hard feelings with Pink Sale. Don't misunderstand me there. But we think you could do a lot of things differently, especially for the holders or for the investors themselves. So I would right now jump into our fund himself to explain a little bit about the strategy, and also to talk about what did we already do with the fund itself, just to keep everyone here updated. The strategy is pretty straightforward, as I said before. Parts of the tax allocated to the marketing wallet will be used for different fund investments, or let's say very special fund investments. We will vet the projects. We will take a deep look at them. We will talk to the teams of the project. We will see if this investment is A, safe, and B, has potential for the future to really hold long term. And the community will be able to vote on the investments themselves. So we will give like 3 options out as we did before with our previous investments. But of course, right now they have been through Telegram polls because we had no other option. In the future, we will have the voting tab in which only BankersDream holders can participate. And additionally, the more banks tokens you are holding, the more voting power you will receive. Or same principle or same logic applied again as for the BUSD rewards. With this, we want to also additionally reward bigger holders. And of course, it is the same principle as for shares and real companies. So the more shares you are holding of a company, the more voting power you have for this company. The fund investments themselves will be generating some yield. I will go over the investments themselves in the next step. And the yield will be distributed to the holders, or let's say part of the yield will be distributed to the holders. Um, for the distribution strategy, it is also it's pretty simple thought, but it's very unique. I do not know another project aiming specifically for this goals, and we have the expertise to set it up. We are, as many of you would know already, we are actually trained bankers. We are working in the financial world in Germany. We have 2 trained bankers, which are yeah, currently working as financial advisors. We have an insurance agent in the founders team and additionally a software developer. So it's a pretty straightforward team, not the team you would always meet in the crypto space, not your usual devs, but we also do not have the usual project in the crypto space. We are very unique. The distribution of the assets, pretty straightforward. This will be changed in the future. It is only our early allocation for the assets. We will participate with 10% of the overall fund in different ICOs. So again, if someone wants to um, like tell us about a project he's interested in, which he thinks, hey, this could be a very interesting thing for the fund, please let us know. We will take a look, we will vet the project and contact the team. 10% only because ICOs are very risky investments. ICOs can work out pretty well, but ICOs, as most of you know, can also not work out that good. So only 10% allocated there. 20% are allocated into staking. So as we did before with, for example, our EarnHub investment, the EarnHub investment got immediately staked just to compound it even more. And 30% are used for different reward tokens. The whole setup of the fund is with one main goal. It is to generate passive income. We are not looking into active trading of the fund. Another fund might be set up for active trading, but right now no plans are made for this. This fund is really only for mid to long-term investments, which we want to hold. To further strengthen the project itself, we will dollar cost average into our investment, so we won't chuck in like instantly $40,000 to have an instant big bag in the project. We will always dollar cost average into the project. It's the classic way of investing, and the classic way of investing turns out to be most of the times a very smart way. And with this, especially in the future, we are able to stabilize our investments even more. We are able to find the flaws better in dips of the project, and with this, we will strengthen the overall fund itself. 40% are here in cash. Cash is also a classic financial term in funds. Cash doesn't mean that we are simply holding BUSD in there and nothing will happen with the BUSD. It's just a cash reserve. As for example, if we have a new project we want to get in, we need some reserve money, especially early on. And additionally, there are more things in the future which will be added into the fund, as for example, yield farming, which we want to build up the cash already to just start it up once we have it ready. So this will change. This pie chart definitely will change in the future. Don't worry about this one. We do not want to have 40% of the fund just sitting around doing nothing. In the future, about 90 to 95% of the fund will be, as you consider, smart money. So it will be generating passive income for everyone in here. As for the yield distribution, it's also pretty straightforward. We will have 75% of the yield generated by the fund distributed to the holders. And we will have 25% allocated into marketing/charity. Marketing does also include compounding into the fund. So if we as a project don't need any marketing money additionally, this part of the yield, of course, will be compounded into the fund to further grow it even more. Some parts of it will be used for charity because, of course, once we have a project running well, we want to give back to the people. The holders will again be able to vote on different charities which they want us to participate on. One thing is what people have to understand: this fund, once it gets going, it makes every holder completely independent of the trade volume. So even if our token has a trade volume of actually zero, so nobody is buying, nobody is selling, you will still always receive your cut of the yield. Of course, we will not tell when we will pay out the yield, because we want to avoid swing traders. But additionally, you will always receive your cut of the yield. As time goes by, we will be able to build this fund up step by step. So once we reach like very important benchmarks like 100K of holdings in the fund, it will be able to generate a good amount of passive income, especially if we invest in other reward tokens, and especially if we are able to secure good wallet sizes in ICOs as a fund, which we are looking to hold, of course. They will be generating a lot of passive income for the holders. So this makes the holders completely independent of the trade volume. Of course, it is perfect if we reach a trade volume at one point of like let's say 200, 300K very consistently on a very consistent level and not spiking up to like let's say 200K and then dropping down to 50K. Again, of course, there might be these times, but we want to reach a overall very consistent volume of let's say 200 to 300K. So there will be a good amount of BUSD rewards generated, and additionally to the BUSD rewards, you will be um, distributed the yield on. This is a very unique approach to passive income. Um, we are giving actually a very big amount of the yield back to the holders in the future. But this is also an incentive we want to give to the people. To we want them to give time to build up their bag, to build up a decent wallet size, and then they can fully participate in this whole passive income journey. This whole distribution will be game changing if we get it running. If we get it running decently with a big fund, it will be game changing for the holders themselves, and it gives a very big incentive to actually hold the token. This is also what we could see right now with the floor we generated after the bigger pump we had in the start of the week over the weekend last weekend. We can see a pretty high floor establishing. Um, this is when people get the idea behind BankersDream, when they get the idea of the fund itself, they understand, all right, this is a pretty big chance in the future, and they already see us. Even if we are at a very early stage right now, we did not even reach 1 million market cap yet. This gives a very big potential in the future because we are already building on the fund. We are already actively investing money. And I have to say, I will share the investments later. Again, just to give a quick overview, we are doing pretty well on the investments so far. So we are able to actually invest good money in there. This for the fund itself. It's the main utility for people who are talking to, let's say, maybe their friends or their family, which are also into crypto. And if you're talking about BankersDream, the main utility is the main selling point of this project. Once we get the exposure rolling with the future press release and everything, um, we need to educate people as a community why it is so important or why it is a good idea to actually hold our token. Of course, a lot of people are watching. We know a lot of people are watching, but this is what we also want to make sure for the community. This is our main utility. Of course, the BUSD rewards are great, and we already see um, when some of our holders are sharing their snapshots of our D app with their personal rewards. We see huge potential there also. We have like what did we have 36K I think overall distributed to a very small amount of holders right now. We are very, very early, in a very early stage with the token. And please do also consider we did actually start as a 70 BNB hard cap pre-sale on Pink Sale. This 70 BNB pre-sale did lead to a around 80k-ish market cap. So we are already sitting on a very good growth so far. Of course, now we have the potential to push it even more. Um, with every day, more and more people notice our token, and this is also the thing behind it. Of course, we can do all the marketing. We are doing a lot of marketing. We are targeting marketing, especially. But we do also need a community. The recent pump you can see in our chart for the people which maybe joined a bit later or with the pump itself. This pump was like mostly created by the community. The community really went crazy there. They commented, they liked, they did retweet, and they did spam on Twitter, they did spam on Reddit, and it was very successful. Of course, after a pump, there comes a little bit of a correction, and then it most of the times follows up to a certain level of floor building. This is what we are seeing right now. We have a very consolidating chart. The floor was built. It is mostly established for the moment. And we have a very good potential if you solely look at the chart, if you take the community in consideration, and that we are actively working on the utility. So we do have something to show for the community already, even if we are at a very, very early stage right now of the project. It could help a lot with future growth. So for our investments themselves, we are working, or better, the team is working on it right now at this exact moment to implement it on our website. So you will be able to have a very quick look at our fund, what investments have been added to the fund, what investments are currently in the fund. It will be a live tracker for the community fund, so everyone will always be up to date. And additionally, because the community asked for it, they wanted us to implement a progress bar for the rewards. So we will be able to see, all right, we are like 10%, 10% away of the next payday, as the community calls it. Um, we might be able to finish this everything up over the weekend. And we are looking forward to implement it on our website, because this is also a very big step we are taking there with the overall transparency, which we want to really have a very big transparency from the team itself towards the community. Our investments themselves, since you can't actively take a look at it, right now, they are doing pretty well. So our first investment was in Moonrock. I think we did invest the first time at around 13 million market cap. And we did not right now, because they have been sitting in the dip, dollar cost average into the project again. It is doing pretty well. One side note to our Moonrock investment, we are in the, I think it was top 400 holders we are in, so it's a very comfortable space we are sitting at right now. The thing with our Moonrock investment is if you are in the top 500 holders of Moonrock, you will be airdropped additional 2000 Moonrock every Friday, I think for the next 5 or 4 weeks. And they are launching their next token, the next fund coming with the token of Moonrock itself. And you will be airdropped, if you are in the top 500 holder space, a one-to-one airdrop of, if you have, let's say, 100,000 rock, you will receive 100,000 additionally of the token, which they are stealth launching, I think, until the 24th of January. So basically, what we were able to do there with this pretty early investment in Moonrock, we've been able to build a good wallet size already. We have been able to pin, I think we are sitting on around 100% gains for the Moonrock investment itself. And we will additionally receive a free second investment of the next token they are launching. The next token they are launching will be having BUSD rewards, so it will be additionally creating passive income for our fund. And this is what we have been looking for. It is a very good team. We've been talking to them also. They're great people. They have a great vision for the Moonwork project itself. And it was a very, very successful first investment for now. And this first investment automatically leads to a second investment and will most likely, if they keep this arrangement up for the top 500 holders, it will additionally lead to automatic next investments. Of course, we will not stop to invest money in there. So as soon as we receive money from the distributions, we are also dollar cost averaging into the investments themselves. Additionally, next to Moonrock, there have been investments into Evergrow Coin and into EarnHub. Evergrow Coin, especially for, of course, the BUSD rewards. And of course, it is a must-have position which you should be building pretty quickly if you're having a fund solely for the reason to generate passive income. We did invest right now because they will be rolling out different utilities in this first quarter of the year. So it is a very, very good time to invest into Evergrow Coin additionally. Of course, this is also we call it buy and add position. So we did put down our initial investment. For now, the dollar cost averaging was focused on Moonrock to secure our top 500 holder place for the airdrops we will be receiving. But of course, also in Evergrow Coin, we will be dollar cost averaging over the time more and more money. The next investment, EarnHub, we did choose it because it is also a very good passive income generator. Once you have a decent bag, we did immediately stake our EarnHub tokens so far just to have a bigger compounding effect. And in EarnHub, for the people not knowing, it is a AnyFlag contract. So you can choose in the D app any other token you want the reflections in. There are tokens which did whitelist EarnHub itself, so the AnyFlag contract itself. So we did also do it, so the EarnHub holders are able to reflect or to receive the reflection in banks, and they will be tax-free for the AnyFlag contract. So if you have EarnHub and you're reflecting in our token in banks, it is tax-free because we whitelisted them. We are cooperating with EarnHub in this manner. Also a buy and add position. So over the course of the time, we will add more into the position of EarnHub itself. The next investment is an actual ICO. It was Moon. The project is called Moon. The token itself is also called Moon. It is the same marketing team as Moonrock had, and the same marketing team which is helping us is also heavily involved into Moon. So we had a pretty easy way of vetting this project. We have been pretty sure from the beginning it is a 100% safe project. Of course, not safe in the manner of it will grow 100% to this market cap. No, this is not what I meant. It is 100% safe of any weird stuff some other devs do sometimes, as for example rug pulling or creating a honeypot, etc., which is making us very confident in this early investment, especially since we do have connections to this marketing team And we do know they have been actively involved, especially in the early stage of Moonrock. So we have been very bullish on this project. This Moon project is also a staking coin we invested in. So you will have or we will have the option to stake, for example, right after launch, the staking is ready. We will be staking our Moon tokens for 90 days because it is giving us the best APY. And additionally, we want to hold it long term anyways. And we have been able to secure, a pretty big wallet size at pre-sale price. Um, Moon had a little bit of a contract issue, which is not the fault of the original team. I have to say, the contract was actually created by Interfi itself, and they didn't deploy it to the testnet. Unluckily, didn't test the contract itself. They ran into a little issue with the launch. They will be relaunching, I think Monday it is. If they can set up everything for it. So they will be relaunching on Monday, and we will, because we immediately staked the token, we will be rewarded. I don't know the reward yet. This is what the marketing team told me so far, or the team of Moon itself told me so far. We will be rewarded because we immediately staked our token with additional tokens to the Bankers Whale Fund, which is actually pretty amazing as an early investment. This Moon investment is, of course, also a buy and add position, so we will dollar cost average over the time into the project, just to be sure to catch great entry points on different projects, and especially for the Moon project, because I consider it as an ICO investment. It is pretty risky, but it gives a lot of potential for the fund. So if Moon is able to create some hype, the fund will, of course, heavily participate in this hype. So this is for the investments themselves we have running at the moment. As I said before, we are right now working on the display of the fund, of our fund investments as a live ticker on the website. Um, we might be able to include it over the weekend, and let's see if we can get it done. And additionally, the reward tracker, because we've been noticing the community asked for it. We've been noticing people are checking the reward contract, the sell contract anyways, all the time. So we will be could most likely also include a reward tracker on the website, so everyone has an easy way to just take a quick look. Okay, rewards are like 90% filled up for the next BUSD distribution, and they will also be able to just quickly take a quick scoop over our Bankers Whale Fund. They will see, all right, our investments are doing great, or our investments are doing not so great. So this is a very easy way for the community also, and for us also, because it's hard to answer questions all the time at the moment for us, because we are getting pretty flooded with direct messages at this point. The press release itself, we ran into one little issue which isn't very bad at all, but the agency um, additionally wanted a full docs of at least, I think, 1 or 2 team members. We did give it to them. We have no problem with it. They, of course, if it gets released on Yahoo Finance, on Bloomberg, especially as a early project, they also need to make sure it is a good project. So we are going through a kind of vetting process through there. But as I said before, the article is ready. We did share the sneak peek already of the article itself, and it will be rolling out anytime now. We are checking in constantly. As soon as we have an update from the press release site, we will let you know. For right now, the people not noticing it, maybe we have a buy contest running for the biggest buy. I think the biggest buy is right now sitting at 4 BNB. you are able to win one BNB. There will be more different structured buy contests throughout the weekend. So stay updated with our token. And otherwise, this would be the things I really wanted to talk about um, for this AMA. Does anyone in here has additional questions regarding the fund, regarding marketing, or anything else? All right, if you want to ask anything, just raise your hand as usual. One important thing we have to say, because of things happening recently, we actually had a holder which got his wallet hacked and all of his funds wiped off his wallet. It is just a quick reminder, just keep your seed phrase always with you. Do not share your seed phrase with anyone. We will not DM you first unless we already had an ongoing yeah, chat in Telegram. So if we had this before, people, yeah, pretending to be team members or pretending to be support or anything else, we will not actively contact you. If we want to contact you, we will link you in the main chat. We will ask you to DM us about anything. Just stay safe, people. Really, do not share your seed phrase. If you have been connected to D apps, let's say for example PancakeSwap or even our D app, make sure to cut the connection once you do not need it anymore. This is just for safety reasons. As we saw right now, it can happen. It happens to the best, and it happens to, yeah, a lot of people, especially if they are very early in the crypto space. Um, just stay safe. A lot of scammers, especially in Telegram, there are a lot of scammers, and do not connect your wallet to a fishy D app. Do not put in. So how the actual hack happened was the holder of our token did use Trust Wallet, and there he did think he can use Trust Wallet on the computer itself. And the website, it was a very professional looking website. Of course, the website asked for his seed phrase so it can display his wallet. So he did put in his seed phrase and he got wiped of all of his holdings. Stay safe. Do not share your seed phrase with anyone. We will not DM you first. Be sure of this unless we have an ongoing conversation, so you can be sure it is really one of us. We do not have a BankersDream support team or anything else um, contacting you. And also because we had this before, we do not have any airdrops or anything like this. If we do, we might have them in the future, but if we will have them, you will definitely know about it. And do only use our official sources, our official Telegram. Only use the things we announce there as a team, um, and only use the official sources like the Twitter account or anything else. Just an incentive again for you to be safe in this space. But I can say it shows again a very unique community also, because yeah, we felt a bit sorry with the person which got hacked. Of course, we felt sorry. We Most of the people in the crypto space know the pain of getting scammed in one way or the other. We had a community member. He doesn't want anyone to know which or who he is. We had a community member which did, yeah, send him the tokens he lost. Additionally, yeah, it just show. I'm amazed of the community, I have to say. I've never seen this before in any other token when someone said, "Oh, I got hacked." We checked the transaction hashes, we checked the wallet if it still had the bank amount in there, but sadly the banks have been sold already. Most of the assets have been sold and have been transferred to another wallet, which we did track. But yes, it shows again the this amazing community standing together. He did get a compensation for what he lost from the community itself. So big shout out to the community and to the one, um, yeah, sending the funds to compensate him for his loss, at least a bit for his loss. Um, yeah, I do not have actually any questions which I received through DMs. Um, we talked a little bit about the fundamentals of the project. We did talk a little bit about the fund, the ongoing investments of the fund itself. Um, it will stay this way. We will have daily AMAs. Sometimes, if we have the time as a team, we will make even 2 or 3 AMAs a day, just to be sure that new people joining, especially right now, the Asian time zone has a hard time to join in this AMA. So we will be covering different time zones throughout the week, just to make sure everyone has the chance to join the AMA. If you happen to miss an important AMA, so through the week from Monday to Friday, there will be a lot of fundamental AMAs for the new holders. A quick recap of what is Bankers Dream, what is the Bankers Whale Fund, and for the week for the weekends, um, there will be also open mic AMAs as we had yesterday, because yesterday there was no new holder which we didn't know yet attending. So we had an open mic. We have been sharing a lot of ideas, a lot of marketing ideas, taking a lot of community ideas in consideration. So always feel free to join the AMAs. Otherwise, you can rewatch them on YouTube. Does anyone here has any questions? Any questions left? Any suggestions to be made? Harry, wait a second, Harry. Yes, Harry, you have to unmute yourself.
Hey, what's
Hey, how
up?
are you, man? Are you all right?
Good, dude. Good. I have a question. I was kind of spazzing out, and I probably should know this.
Yeah,
But
no problem.
regarding the whale fund,
Yes.
like the investments that we do, I don't know if I necessarily paid attention to how frequently will be paid out from the whale fund, or the whale fund will be paying out
Yes.
current holders, investors, and whatnot.
The whale fund itself, we cannot give an exact date or time frame for the payouts. It will in the future pay out. Like we have to see how much we can distribute. But yeah, over the course of the week, maybe like 2 or 3 times. So at different times, random times, we will be distributing the yield to the holders. We cannot give an exact time because we want to avoid this whole, um, yeah, trading we have going on sometimes.
Right. I got you. Screw those people. But regarding like the payouts itself, I'm
Yes,
assuming they're paid out respectively according to your holdings and whatnot. Not
yes,
uh, okay.
yes,
So that's interesting. Okay,
yes.
very nice to know.
So same logic applied as for the BUSD rewards. The more banks you hold, the more of the fund yield distributed you will also receive additionally. So yeah, it's an incentive to buy not to buy, but to hold a decent amount of banks for the future. Because as we do know of other reward tokens right now, you still have an, let's say, easy way of joining this trillion token club. In the future, once we are rising in market cap, it might be getting hard to hold 1 trillion tokens and to secure this spot. So you you are all very, very early. You have time to build up your bags. You have time to accumulate banks over the course of the time. Um, Also for our token, I would advise everyone to dollar cost average over the course of the time. Do not just dump like the maximum amount which you wanted to invest in one go. Um, if you feel very confident about the situation, of course, just go for it. I can't tell anyone what to do, but the experience we have made so far, especially in the finance sector, it is smarter to dollar cost average over time into your investments and to build your bag over the time, to abuse the dips, because dips will always occur. If it's shares, if it's crypto, there will always be dips in one form or the other. Abuse this and dollar cost average. Also for our token, do not just dump in like huge amounts of money for you, and do always only invest the money which you don't need in any short time. Yeah. Um, do invest with a clear mind. Let's say it this way.
Right. I do have a question regarding just like our investments moving forward and whatnot. I
Yes.
do know that we do have a poll for that, and
Yes.
we vote on what we want to invest in. But I'm wondering how the polling system will work in the future. Are we ever going to change it in the sense that, let's just say whales who hold a certain amount have more say or a percentage in voting, or is it always just going to be coming down to the numbers, meaning 300 people want to invest in, let's just say, I don't know, Bitcoin, 200 want to invest in Ethereum, and 100 in Litecoin. So will it work that way always, or is it something that might change as time goes on?
It will definitely change for the future. Once we have our voting system ready, it is a protocol which we are developing at the moment. It takes some time for the protocol because it is, yeah, kind of similar to a DAO. So the more tokens you are holding, the more banks tokens you are holding, the more voting power you will have. It is the same principle as for shares in companies. The more shares you hold, the more voting power you will receive. With this, of course, it is again the same logic applied as for the BUSD rewards or as for the yield distribution, because in some form we need to reward the people which are willing to invest bigger amounts of money, but we do not want to exclude anyone. So it doesn't matter if you're holding a smaller bag, you will still receive BUSD rewards, you will still receive yield of the fund, and you will still be able to participate in the votes. But of course, in some way, we need to reward the people which have been willing to put more money down. So yes, this will definitely change. This is already 100% fixed once the voting system is ready. Um, Additionally, right now, if we use Telegram polls, um, potentially everyone could vote in this Telegram polls. Of course, we are making sure that only banks holders can vote in the future. This is no project for people just joining in and putting down a vote because they feel like it. It is only for the banks holders, of course, in the future.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Yes, yes, you're welcome. All right. Chris, I have seen you have been raising your hand before. I do not know. Do you still have a question? All right. Now, Chris, just make sure to unmute yourself, Chris.
There we go. Can you hear me now?
Yes. Hello. How are you, Chris?
Hey, good. How you doing? Thanks for
uh,
uh thanks for taking my call. No.
yeah, of course.
Um yeah, I just wanted to check in and say, it's more of a comment that I know it probably, will feel repetitive over time and like a broken record to keep on, repeating um the basics each day about the coin and the project and everything. But even for myself, who's just been joining it for a few days, it actually, each day I feel like I soak it in a little bit more, better understanding, which gives me a better ability to speak to others and explain the project and, just talk about it. So, when it comes to you guys putting it out there, just saying, good job, don't get tired of it, because it's definitely helpful for everybody that joins in for their first time and even second and third time. So thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. Definitely. No, I'm actually looking forward for every AMA I can hold. Yeah, this is what we want to make sure, especially with a token like we have, which we are granting a very unique utility. This is a utility we need to explain to the people, and every day, people attending the AMAs, they will be able to educate themselves more and more, every day a little
Yeah.
bit more. This helps a lot. Like, you shouldn't
Well,
underestimate it.
because of the uniqueness of what you guys are aiming to do, that uniqueness often lends people to say, hey, seems too good to be true. And once you dive into it more and listen to it and read about it and everything, you understand what's going on, and you're saying, yeah, it is a good thing, but it also is true. So for you guys to keep on speaking about it, and even making, say you did this sort of introduction. I know you do the YouTube videos, but say you did just a blanket introduction with your videos, that you do, like you put on screen for everybody. Even to do one like that, that's a real introductory with you speaking. The video goes about, and you kind of slideshow it. That would be a great thing to throw into the Telegram group or wherever, so that we could take that video and say, hey, it's hard enough for us to really speak truth over Twitter, but watch this video, get a feel for it, then come on over and hop in and learn more.
Actually, this idea is very, very good. Very good timing, because as we stated before, we have an marketing agency working with us,
Oh, cool. All right.
granting us all the connections, for example, to Yahoo Finance or Bloomberg, or basically anywhere we want to go. And this is what they also said. They attended some AMAs, just to give some feedback. And this is what they also said. They said, hey, why don't you make a 50-minute or 20-minute recording of you all explaining the project in detail? And for once, if we drop the video into the Telegram, of course, you can use it to just simply send it to other people, so they can just watch it if they're interested. But of course,
and even it doesn't even have to be a 10 or 20. Like, it could be, a 1 minute something, because it's like people say with the elevator pitch. When you have a business, you're gonna hop into an elevator and you got 30 seconds between floors to sell them on, your idea, your business. When you're throwing something on Twitter that's a link for people to watch, you're only going to get their attention for so long.
That's true.
So
that's true, actually.
Yeah, so to have something that's, to the point, powerful, and gets them interested to learn more, that could be a 30-second to 1 minute clip. And I learned that in this space because of the coin. I think everybody knows Stellar Lumen. It's a big coin out there. Everybody knows it. And when I first saw their marketing material, that was like, oh wow, crypto really is a business. It's not just going for meme coins and stuff. Like, there's a business behind it, and It was so professional, and it really taught me everything with the visuals over a video, that I was like, this makes sense.
Definitely. This is actually a very good idea. Let me know that, you see, this is also why we love the AMAs, because we are getting input, which we didn't think of at the moment. So like a 30-second to 1 minute elevator pitch for the project. Let us work on this, okay?
Cool. All right.
Because
Thanks, guys.
I love
Appreciate
the
it.
idea. Yeah, appreciate it. No, because
All right. We'll catch.
the feedback of the marketing agency we had was record like this little presentation we have been going on to just to try to educate people about our token. We could just record it as one fluent video, and we could just screen share it a lot of times in the at a day to cover different time zones and to have an easy way, even if we do not have active time, maybe for an AMA, we could still be able to screen share at least a quick pitch of the like a more into detail pitch of the project for new holders. Um, but actually, this 30 to 60-second elevator pitch idea is a very good idea. I like this idea. How didn't we think of this already, man? Uh,
There you go, man. It's free advice.
yeah,
That's also gonna
definitely.
pay me and everybody else in the future, hopefully. So, um,
Definitely.
no, it's it's and like I said, not to be a dead horse, but it's geared towards a sharing. It's hard for everybody when we're trying to, say trust me, bro, on Twitter. It's hard to really get people to 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 dive in. Everybody's using emojis and all this stuff that looks gimmicky sometimes.
Definitely,
Um,
yes.
but just to even hear, I don't know if anybody's told you this, but you got a good voice for this project. So to be able to talk like, yeah, I mean, you're able to talk and explain and make people feel good about the project. So if it's your voice behind the screen going through the video, and people are just checking in for 30 seconds for a cool little presentation that catches them, and they say, "Oh, I'm going to redirect off to Twitter and go, research this, look at their website, and learn more." So
Definitely, yeah. Of course,
yeah,
appreciated this. This also shows once again, why we want to work so tight with the community, because there are things which we are overlooking. There are things which we could do, of course, better. We do need the people to let us know. Like, for example, this quick elevator pitch. No one in the team yet, not even the marketing agency, did think of it. But if you get into it, of course, it makes 100% sense, because the time span of people paying attention, especially for something they do not know, is very, very short. So we need to make the most out of this time span, attract them with visuals, attract them with the most information they could get. Not that very good idea, Chris. Thank you a lot for this. All right. Any other suggestions, ideas, or questions? Okay, I can't see any other question. Um, Now we did fill a good hour again. I would say thank you all for participating. Um, of course, I know for the people being in here, often it's very repetitive. But we need to do it this way. We need to have a way to educate, especially newer holders, about our token. We need to show them why it is a very good idea to actually hold the token itself. So thanks for attending again. If you have any questions, and you don't want to speak in here, just always feel free to drop them in the chat, or drop us a DM. Do not worry about it. And I would say we would stick our heads back into the work, because we do actually want the portfolio tracker and the how do you call it, reward tracker. We want it on the website. And thank you again for participating. I will end the call right now, and have a great start in the weekend, people. Bye bye.